one more clip and then we have a really big surprise for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a really big surprise at the end of this. You're going to be pretty excited. Let's get another question from the audience.
Why was the decision made to change the format of the show for the second season?
Sorry. Because we wanted to do a second series of 10 minutes. We'd like to do 100 series of those, but the BBC said no. Because they were kind of trying out new things in that slot. And then we begged them and they said no. And we kept begging and they said, all right, if you can do a 30-minute one, but with humans.
With human beings, as opposed to lumps of sulfur, batteries, fingers, fingernails, pencils, and wire. And you're like, okay, well that's a pretty radical concept, but okay. Yeah, so I guess I can sort of see that point, you know, after watching these clips. Alright. But yeah, so that was why.
And was that your real hair on the show?
So
was that your real hair?
No, it was neither of our real hair.
Mine's in a box in the BBC. And you go and get it.
Well, you know, people have asked about future series, and that may not be happening, but is there the possibility of there ever being more look around you?
Well, we've been talking and thinking, and who knows. What do you think if we were to to make like a look around you film? Would that be good? We've been talking about doing kind of something that has the feel of the first series, but that might sort of begin in a lab, and then just sort of mental.
And then just expands into. I like the idea of like something happening in the lab and then suddenly expanding into like the opening shot of Star Wars when you see the big Star Destroyer, you know, like something like huge like that, and then you go off on a huge adventure. But it's all kind of weird and freaky. So we're thinking of making Look Around You the motion picture. Like seriously, do you think that's a good idea?
So anyway, yeah, that's what we're hoping to do.
Yeah.
So that means everybody here is going to finance it, right? That's how that works? They won't disagree.
Yeah, anyone who's act. Yeah, you're a producer.
Let's take another question.
Hi.
Hey, hello.
I've noticed that your topics are really random. Yeah, like, how do you just pick something that first comes to your mind or something, or science stuff?
We had a long list. There's probably a list in there. Like, and we wrote another episode because we made a short one, which was Calcium, a short film we made first of all. And we wrote another one, a whole episode on gold, which we didn't film unfortunately, which was funny because they had a nice little bit in it in which the scientist was using a raspberry which he was going to cover in gold, and he first of all shaved the raspberry. There's a mirror behind. And then he coated the raspberry with gold, and then we fed electricity through it, and that into a chamber that a woman was in, and it formed a double of the woman.
But the woman was like a severely mentally reduced version. So she was physically the same, but she was like.
It was like the double who wasn't quite right. And then we had them then. The normal one, the non-double thing, was in this sort of bit like a psychiatric hospital with playing the piano, while her double, the twin, sort of sat there looking on, like obviously thinking, I wish I could be like her. And then finally the scientist just led her away.
It was quite bleak.
It was funny.
Thanks for the question. Thank you.
So I want to show one more clip, and then we'll take one or two last questions, and then we have a really big surprise, something brand new that has never been seen anywhere else, really, that we're going to show them. Right?
Yeah.
So let's watch.